Do you remember what you said?
Just stop. Just stop.
The predator no one saw coming.
One of the things that investigators are looking for is what type of victim of this person looking for.
The unimaginable crimes.
And I noticed that he has a erected penis. He said, "Do you see this? Do you like it?"
And how the drama unfolded in court.
It definitely was a very stressful situation.
Multiple victims, all seemingly unconnected attacks, and no perpetrator.
He goes, "I'm gonna take you to the store and I'm gonna f*** you and if you say anything, I will kill you." And I just froze then.
He was on top of you.
Right, he was on top of me.
Feel yourself bleeding.
Yes.
Fast forward to May 13th, 2018.
Did you have any indication that you were in danger when you were in his car?
No, he held me, grabbed my arms, and I don't know what else he said, but he says we're gonna have sex. And I said, please don't do this.
This is Jane Doe 2, a then 59-year-old transient woman who says that she was sexually assaulted.
He took off his pants.
Did you see his penis?
Yes, I did. At that moment, I said, no, and then I walked away.
A translator is speaking for Jane Doe 3, a then 57-year-old Vietnamese woman. She testified that a man who identified himself as David exposed himself to her outside her home.
At first, I think it was difficult for the law enforcement to figure out who was behind these crimes. Jane Doe number 1, she didn't report the crime until 4 days later.
He was black. He had lighter skin. His hair was either it's been crimped a lot or it was just an afro type.
Do you remember what type of car he was in?
Yes.
What type of car was he in?
It was a black Hummer.
June 2018, a man is caught sneaking into a San Diego trailer park home. The burglary suspect would be linked to the Jane Does, and he would eventually be arrested and charged with 9 counts, including kidnapping, forcible rape, and indecent exposure. To the shock of the world, that suspect was Kellen Winslow II.
You have someone who is doing phenomenally well. He comes from a legacy of football players. His dad, by the same name, was also a football player. And then you have these charges coming out. And the first reaction you have is, why are you doing this?
Winslow's legal troubles, though, only worsened. Another woman came forward.
Was he having sex with you at the time that you regained consciousness?
Yes.
Jane Doe number 4 said that back in 2003, when she was 17 years old, then 19-year-old Kellen Winslow raped her at a house party. While it would be confirmed that Winslow's DNA was found on Jane Doe number 1's pants, Winslow never denied the encounter. He just said this was consensual sex and that Jane Doe 1 was lying.
Well, when he inserted his penis, it hurt so bad. I kept on saying, ow, 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 because I don't know how he fit that thing in there. And I just felt this heavy gush of water going.
What did you think it was?
Blood. It was blood.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No.
She didn't try to get help. She didn't run away, even though the attacker was on the other side of the fence. She didn't call the police, even though she had the cell phone on her.
As for Jane Doe number 2, who claimed Winslow raped her almost 2 months after Jane Doe 1, forensic evidence didn't quite support her account.
There was no DNA. That they did the DNA search regarding the back of the vehicle, the Hummer, and the front passenger seat, and there was not a match for Jane Doe number 2.
Yet, her eventual testimony against Winslow was arguably the strongest piece of evidence.
Can you tell us what you were feeling when he did that?
It's painful.
Did it hurt you?
Yes. I just kept my eyes closed.
She looked like she was scared. She looked like she was nervous. And even at one point, she said that she didn't want to look at the attorney cross-examining her because she didn't want to see her rapist.
When it came to Jane Doe 3, who testified through a translator and accused Winslow of exposing himself while she was outside in her garden.
Are you uncomfortable talking about what the man did that day?
I saw his body only. I didn't look at his face.
Are you Vietnamese?
Yes, I am.
Is there a habit or custom in Vietnamese culture to not look at strangers directly in the face?
Đúng. Yes, that is correct.
She may not have gotten a good look at the perpetrator's face, but Jane Doe 3 did see something.
What did you see on his arm?
I saw his tattoos from here down to the wrist.
Did you see him with a bicycle the first time you met him?
Yes.
Kellen Winslow Jr. was a fan of Strava, that app that allows you to see what kind of routes you're taking, whether you're running or whether you're biking. His Strava app was tracking where he was going on that day and essentially put him one house away from her house at almost the exact time that she's saying that he was there.
As for Jane Doe 5,
He was just touching and giving strokes to his penis.
What did he do when he sat next to you?
I could not see, but I can think what he was doing. He was masturbating.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kellen Boswell Winslow II, guilty of the crime of rape by force or fear. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the crime of indecent exposure. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the crime of lewd conduct. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of the crime of lewd conduct regarding Jane Doe number 5.
the jury was deadlocked as to 8 other charges. The government pressed forward with a new trial as to these counts. Instead of going to trial, Kellen Winslow announced his intention to plead guilty to sexual battery of Jane Doe 1 and the rape of Jane Doe 4, while other charges would be severed or dropped.
How do you plead to count 6? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You did unlawfully commit sexual battery against Jane Doe number 1, a 54-year-old woman. How do you plead to that? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
As part of the agreement between the defense and the state, Judge Bowman sentenced Winslow to 14 years in prison.
It shows how someone is not above the law. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you do the crime, you're going to do the time. And I think that Kellen Winslow is a prime example of a case like that.